The benefits of breastfeeding, the health benefits for the baby, are incomparable. I mean, I did a lot of research on this, and it was even better than I thought, right? The rates of childhood infections and cancer and developmental delay are very, very low in breastfed children. They're infinitely lower than in bottle-fed children. Yeah. And even if you look at adult health, obesity, cancer, arthritis, all sorts of illness in adults are much, much lower if that adult was breastfed. And in my practice, I've seen this making a difference until people are in their 90s. You know, if they were breastfed, it's usually quite easy to get them better. It takes a few months. And if they weren't, it's much harder work. And there are health benefits for the mother as well. There's a lower rate of breast cancer. And it's infinitely more convenient. You know, the milk's always there. You can travel. You don't have to take a whole load of kit and caboodle with you. Yeah. It's at the right temperature and it's in the right amount. Yeah. But what's happening with breastfeeding is there's a lot of wrong information out there that, you know, if the baby's constantly crying and hungry and wants to feed all the time, there's something wrong with the milk supply. So people may not want to know this, but it's natural for babies to feed all the time. And supply creates demand. So the more you let the baby feed, the more the milk will flow. But you get well-meaning nurses and midwives in hospital saying, oh, you know, baby's a bit hungry, let's top him up with a bit of formula. And that's a disaster, because then he won't suck and then the milk supply will go down. And the fact is, you know, running out of breast milk is unbelievably rare. Yeah. You know, if breast milk ran out on a regular basis, we wouldn't be here. Yeah. You know, that's how our species has survived, by feeding children freely until they're ready to wean themselves.
Yeah. There's a lot of misconceptions for sure around breastfeeding, and I'm saying this as a male. Even sort of teaching breastfeeding is very different to going through it with my little boy and my wife. And it was a real eye opener actually, and I could see how it could be very challenging. It's very draining, very demanding. You know, you've got a little one clinging off you, wanting you and wanting milk, and it can be painful, etc., etc. But I think from my experience, it did seem to be that once you get over that initial bit, like you said, working out that whole supply-demand thing, making sure that you're getting the latch right, and of course, there might be, if the baby isn't latching, it could be for very obvious reasons. I mean, as my first background as an osteopath, we would see a lot of babies coming in who can't latch because of problems with the labour or their neck movement or whatever it might be, a tongue tie, it could be all sorts of things. And so there are a lot of obstacles, I feel, that are put in the way of mums. And when they research, they sort of think, oh, there's a lot of things there that might make it difficult. So I'll try and breastfeed, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
That's right. Now, in tribal societies, little girls watch their mums breastfeeding their younger siblings, they watch their big sisters, their aunties, their cousins, they grow up with it. And so it is more or less intuitive. Nobody has to give them a lesson. We've lost that. And actually, most women do need help. You know, because although it's natural, it's also an art that has to be learned, and it comes easily to some women. It doesn't come easily to others. And sadly, the midwives in the hospitals don't have the skill all the time to show you. And it really is a skill, but the most important thing that's needed is support. You know, if a woman's on her own, you know, if she hasn't got support, it's very, very difficult. But if she's got a supportive partner, like I'm sure you are, or a parent or a sister or a friend who's there cooking the dinner so she can sit on the sofa and breastfeed, cleaning the house, holding the baby so she can go and have a shower. You know, a new baby is incredibly hard work, and to do it on your own and breastfeed successfully is asking a lot. So I think this is about educating men and society at large that breastfeeding is not something one person does, it's a whole family. You know, ideally it's a village, because the way to breastfeed successfully is to not have to do anything else. You need someone else to cook the tea, you know, someone else to look after the older children. If you've got that support, you can do it. And, you know, you've set the child up for a healthy life.